Good evening. I'm on a few different platforms today, so please bear with me if we have questions from other platforms, and I will share the questions out so everybody knows what the questions are being asked. Um, Today we're going to go over solar terms. Welcome. Yes, we're going to talk about solar terms today. A lot of people have been very curious to understand what solar terms are. So I wanted to take more time today to talk about solar terms. Solar terms is something that is more commonly um, taught or shared out in a lot of Asian cultures, especially Chinese culture. And being Taiwanese, um, I grew up with a lot of this cultural nuances and things that our grandparents were sharing with us as we grow up. So today I want to talk very quickly about what 24 solar terms are and how they can improve our health. Okay, how does this affect you? So what are the 24 solar terms? The 24 solar terms are traditional East Asian, predominantly originally from China. It's a calendar system that divides the year into 24 seasonal markers based on the sun's position along the ecliptic. So think of them as nature's detailed planner. Instead of just 4 seasons, you get 24 precise checkpoints that farmers, families, and physicians have used for thousands of years to time planting and harvest, festivals, and also health practices. So in traditional Chinese medicine, your body is seen as a microcosm of nature. As the climate shifts, temperature, humidity, wind or dryness, your body's internal environments shifts as well. So the solar term tells us which environmental qualities are increasing or decreasing and how to care for our organs and our meridians that are most affected in that window. So it's essentially seasonal living with a clinical precision. And they matter to our health because it helps us to prevent possible sickness or illnesses that could occur or discomfort. It's rhythmic, so it adheres us to nature's rhythm, and it's also very much focused on a lot of our organs, okay, and different meridian points. So I will share with you guys what are some of the meridian points and the solar term that's occurring right now. That is going to help us with being healthier. Okay, so it changes basically every 2 to 3 weeks. There's a new solar term. Okay, so our current solar term right now is called cold dew. In Chinese, it's called 寒露. Okay, so cold dew is the 5th solar term of the autumn season. It's a very key turning point where our yin energy rises and our yang energy recedes. So dew begins to condense, the air cools, and nature shifts into a state of contraction and inner nourishment. So to align with our nature's rhythm, our bodies should begin to contract as well, to get ready for the colder seasons that are incoming. So some of the critical concepts and parts that we need to pay attention to, body parts and health-wise, is things like our lungs, our kidneys, to keep these parts, to keep the lungs more moist, and to keep the kidneys warm. Okay. During this season, it's easier for our lungs to get very dry because of the change in weather. And also various different things, different parts of the world are still using. For example, air conditioning we're still using a lot in Asia, and then some places are starting to turn on heat, okay, in northern hemisphere or colder parts of the earth. So it's also really important to keep our kidneys functions, keep them warm, and this also helps with our overall hormonal cycles as well. So what is the meaning of Kodu in traditional Chinese medicine? So within the 5 elements theory, autumn corresponds to the metal element, which governs the lung and the large intestine meridians. So the lungs rule qi, so our breath, and the skin. So it manages respiration and our body's vital energy flow. Okay, so this is a very important time for us to really focus on our breath and any kind of functions that relates to the lungs. This could also be a reason why more and more people get colds and flus and respiratory discomfort entering the autumnal seasons. We usually think of it as just the change in seasons, but a lot of it is also because of sun's relation to earth and how the nature is changing and how that indirectly or directly affects our health, humans' health. So if our lung energy is not well nourished, there could be nasal congestion, there could be shortness of breath. It's easier for someone to get dry or flaky skin. And also, lungs also govern the emotions. Okay, so it could also relate to emotional sensitivity, melancholy, or sadness. So after the Kodu, as the temperatures drop even further, our yang energy, so the warm energy that our bodies retain, starts to contract inwards. So it also affects our kidneys, which stores our essence. It governs our bones and marrow, and it influences immunity and hormones. Okay, and so this is why it's important for us to take care of our kidneys. Ultimately, kidneys, especially for men, also govern sexual functions and things that relate to erections. So it's very important for people to focus on taking care of their kidneys during this time. Cold dew basically usually starts around this time of the year, around October 8th, October 9th. It usually goes by the lunar calendar, but I use our regular calendar since most people are more used to this calendar format. So during this period, the 2 main organs that you focus on are your lungs and your kidneys. So 3 of the key wellness priorities that we can pay attention to during the cold dew period is first, moisten your lungs and nourish your yang energy. So you can eat white foods that are white. Things like white mushrooms, lily bulb, lotus seed, pears, honeys, white sesame seeds, and Chinese yam, which also looks like a white carrot. Okay, it's a little bit, the texture is slightly different, but it's very, very good to help us moisten our respiratory system. It's recommended for us to avoid spicy and dry heating foods like chilies and also a lot of fried foods. Second, it's important to strengthen the kidneys and replenish the qi. So drink warm ginger tea or like black sesame paste, soup. These are usually eaten as desserts. We add a little bit of honey in there. You can also try to keep lower body and your waist protected and warm. Okay, a lot of people love wearing clothes that shows their abdominal areas. When wind hits our bodies, that could actually um, really affect all the organs and the balance of these organs around the midriff area. And also it's very helpful to practice deep breathing and meditation to stabilize your kidney chi. So whenever you do meditation or you're doing breath work, you can focus on breathing in really deeply into your lower waist area, lower belly area. Okay, that could also help to replenish the chi in your kidneys. And third is to calm the mind and balance your emotions. So as we mentioned earlier, the emotion of autumn is sorrow, and it's easier for people because when we have weaker lung functions, a lot of times that affects our emotions. So you could also use essential oils, you can listen to music, and you can meditate to release any type of negative emotions or sadness. And this really helps us to cultivate inner peace and gratitude. Okay, and there are 4 key acupressure points you can focus on during cold dew period. So first, I would combine essential oils to massage these areas that can help to promote the meridian flow and circulation. First is Tai Yuan. Okay, Tai Yuan is it's a source point of the lung meridian. Okay, so it's around where the crease of your wrist is in your inner crease. Okay, and then it's right underneath um, the, the the thumb. Okay, so it's where there's like a depression or a part that goes in at the radial side of the wrist crease. Okay, so the benefit of this, if you just press on this, it moistens the lungs, it stops people from coughing, it can also boost immunity, it improves circulation, it regulates our autonomic nervous system, and it can also help to relax stress. Some of the oils I recommend you can use are frankincense, osmanthus, diluted with fractionated coconut oil, and you can apply around before you start putting pressure on these pressure points. I also love these pressure points because they're very easy to access when you're in the public, when you're at the office, when you're in school, just to make yourself, your body more balanced. Okay. So there's also 肾meridian points. So they're the 2 dents behind our lower back, the 2 pimples. Okay, these two pressure points help with our kidneys, and they sit on the bladder meridian. Okay, so basically it strengthens our lower back, it can dispel cold, and it can help you to strengthen your kidney energy. People that also have any kind of sexual wellness dysfunctions or difficulties, you can apply things like cedar wood, cinnamon, ginger, and frankincense diluted with fractionated coconut oil, and apply around this area of your waist. Okay. There is also another third eye point, okay, between our eyebrows. It's called 印堂穴, okay? It's right between the eyebrows, right above the nose bone, where it starts slanting forward, and it's right above that point. Okay, so by pressing on the third eye point, it calms the mind, it relieves anxiety and head tension. So frankincense, again, is a really good oil to use. Lavender, you can basically put them behind, put one drop each, put it behind your neck, and then breathe it in. Cusp them around your your face, and then slowly breathe it in. So going back to some of the oils that we can use, frankincense is a great oil. A lot of wood oils are great during this time for grounding and stability. So you can do things like Siberian fir. Siberian fir is really good at cleansing the lung qi and then releases grief. I also love eucalyptus for anything that relates to respiratory system. Cedar wood is really good to support sleep as well. It relieves anxiety and it strengthens the qi in your kidneys. So a lot of these wood oils, just picture how trees are. They have really deep roots and go deep into the ground. So ultimately, wood oils in general, for emotional benefits, they are very, very grounding. They improve your sense of stability. Okay, and then my favorite is always frankincense. We call it the king of oils because it's anti-inflammatory. It helps with cellular repair and immune support. It also, on an energetic side, it bridges basically the sky and earth frequencies, and it brings very deep peace and grounding energies to our system. Okay, it's very, very good for any kind of spiritual or energetic work. And then I also mentioned osmanthus. Osmanthus soothes the lungs and softens the heart. Okay, so osmanthus is great for you to apply around your chest region, around your lungs. It also eases our throat and relieves cough. So energetically, it helps to open our heart chakra, and it releases loneliness and sadness. So if you feel this, as you go into the autumnal season or even going to the winter, you can apply a few drops of osmanthus around your heart. And then afterwards, after I apply essential oils, I always love cusping my hands in front of my face to just breathe everything in slowly. And that really helps to improve our emotional state, to make us feel more balanced. Okay, and this is also why I tell everyone why we call it aromatherapy. Okay, because the aromas, when they are therapeutic and testigrade, when they're pure, okay, so only less than 0.1% of essential oil brands in the world can achieve this level of certified pure tested grade. Okay, so I only use this grade because they ensure the purity and the quality of the oils that I'm using and putting on my body. So I recommend everyone to really pay attention to what type of essential oils you're using, which brand you're choosing, since majority of the brands are not pure and they're not 100% natural. Okay, and it's super important for us to use pure products to minimize toxins or any kind of synthetic compounds from entering our system, especially when we are trying to detox all of these toxins that continuously enter our systems through the environment and things that's emitted from oil and gas. In addition to osmanthus, I also recommend things like lavender, neroli. There are a lot of flower oils that makes a person feel more loved and make a person feel more cared for, more confident. So whenever you feel sad or you feel like you're losing that sense of self, I always recommend floral essential oils. Osmanthus is great during the cold dew solar term because it also moistens the lungs, okay, and it helps with our with dry throat. So I love blending it with frankincense. You can apply it and then cusp your hands around your nose and then breathe it in. Okay, applying your heart chakra and then breathe it in. So on a quantum and frequency perspective, We all know that the human body is an energy field vibrating at specific frequencies. And this is also why when I share essential oils with you guys, I would mention which chakra you can apply these oils to, okay? Because uh, when they're certified pure tested grade uh, essential oils, they contain the life force energy of plants. And plants all vibrate at specific frequencies, and they help us to elevate our frequencies in addition to other benefits when we apply them onto our system or ingest them. So because each season also carries its own unique vibration, cold dew's frequency is one of contraction and inner nourishment. Okay, so all these oils that I've shared earlier, they help you to minimize contraction, and they help you to nourish your inner self. And this is why Wellrose is called begin within. Everything begins from within. Everything begins from yin to yang. And I highly recommend everyone to use as many natural ways and natural products to improve your health and to get closer with nature, even when you cannot be physically there. So, cold dew solar term reminds us to turn inward to care for both the body and the soul in the most natural and authentic way. I want to remind everyone that true wellness is not resisting nature, but resonating with it. So to learn more about doTERRA CPTG essential oils, you can please leave a comment of cold dew oils and message me directly. I have a cold dew seasonal offer starting today, October 8th, through end of this weekend, October 12th, with a free guide that you can take home and learn more about natural ways of being healthier and combining Western science with Eastern philosophies. So let's return to nature's frequency and nourish the body, balance our emotions, and elevate our energy. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a message, and I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.